Philistine Street near Ekron.
Joined the expedition of the Albright Institution. William Foxwell Albright, a major scholar in biblical archaeology, Eastern Lucidanism institution.
Used to make a grain stove, weaving corner, a loom, dyeing. I'd take pictures before they get here. The loom, if you can get the picture of the loom. Potter's wheel, pottery, kiln, fire underneath there, and then the pottery was placed up top here in this kiln.
Okay.
Did you get the cart? Wine press here. And then stomp on it, and it goes down in the hole there. Let's see. I'll show it coming out here. Hearth. Altar. Incense altar here. Philistine pottery. Straining, notice they strain it out there. Cultic stage reconstruction here. Some of the original right here. Go along here, wheels, cart. Then down here we have a burial cave. And the anthropoid coffins. And this is how they had their burial. And notice the face. Of there. See some other stones here. A manger there, and a plow. Plowing the fields. What it looked like here. Another looks like a little manger here. Back to the wine press. Grinding. Looks like they stomped things in there and pressed them out. Down into there, a small olive press or wine press.
So many olive presses. This was an international not only here, but Ekron under the Syrian soldiers producing a
Looks
large
like a
amount of those
door hinge.
jars. The bigger jars were the ones for the transport. Okay, for collecting them and for transporting them. This is an early type of an amphora. The Greek wine amphora would be a development out of this. Now you want to be blessed while doing all of this work. You want the gods to be pleased and to bless you in your
Altar.
activity, that the harvest will be good, you'll get a good price, a lot of shekels, or a lot of silver weighted against shekels, is the better term. So you would burn an offering. The offering was presented in the niche or on an altar. This is an offering altar. People, this is the real thing. Like us, this is not the replica like this. This is the real thing. And yes, for years I've been showing this, not paying attention to the fact that these are chipped off. But when Aaron Meir found the two-horned altar in Tel Safi, it broke the news, and he was telling everyone it's the first time we have such a thing. In Philistine contexts may show something new we've not encountered before, and I was rubbing my head saying, where did I see it? And when I came to visit the site with a group, it hit me. I took a photo, I sent it to Aaron Meir, and he said, but I don't think it's the same thing, it's just eroded, it wasn't deliberately chipped off. And consult with Seymour Gittin, who is the head of the Albright Institution and its investigation here. And I told him, look, we have your pattern. You also, without noticing it, found another two-horned altar. He wasn't willing to accept this. That this is really another two-horned altar. And at some point I gave up. Aaron May told me he's not in a good mood lately, so let it go. Let it go. But I truly believe that we have here another case of a Philistine contents two-horned altar, which may show us indeed a pattern that we were not aware of before. What does it mean? Okay, the connection to the Aegean world, which you will see now again and again. The material culture shows it. It's all very, very interesting, but not very useful. This is a technological development. You had this was called, believe it or not, the fast wheel, because before it you had the slow wheel, which is this. Here you basically turn it a bit, shape it, turn it a bit, shape it, or someone assisted you. But we do find also such devices which we believe are related to pottery making. The development of the fast wheel was already done in the Middle Bronze Age, so the Philistines were definitely aware of it, but it doesn't mean that everyone produced the same. And the Philistines' pottery is one major characteristic for a different culture. Okay, the pottery is, for one thing, what we usually find, and the continuity or different types are usually an indicator for the continuation of a culture or a new arrival. And this is definitely different than the common Canaanite pottery. These are foreigners. And when you do see ties, when you do see links of this pottery to anything else, it's again to the Aegean world. It's a major element in the argument of the Aegean origin of the Philistines. How was the clay burnt and turned into the final product? Here Natan Yadlin demonstrates or made a replica of the kiln. Okay, the fire, the burning material was put below it, and the heat through this and through these shafts would fill up this area where the clay would be burnt, and the burning could change in temperature till you reach the right temperature to make it hard, but don't make it too high because then it could break. And sometimes when they weren't professional enough, it would break, and if you find industrial waste next to it, then that proves the point. Sometimes you only find... What do we know about the Philistine religion from the Bible? Not much. There's a mentioning of Baal Zvuv, And there's a mentioning of the house of nerves, Batei Atzabim. We don't really know what it means. And when the Philistines returned the Ark of the Covenant, they had 5 golden mice. Is that also related to it? And Ashtoret is mentioned as the temple where Samson is presented, and so on. What is the material culture? What is the material evidence? We found 2 buildings which we believe are temples in Ekron, and in them we found items that are not ordinary clay items. They are funny looking, especially these pieces, or chalices for burning offerings. This we believe is indeed a religious context Philistine items. We also found in Philistine temple of Ekron harps, a place for a harp of a fire. This is not common among Israelites or Canaanites, but it is common where? In the Aegean world. If you wish, here's another connection. Based on an actual metal part of a claw that was found in the digs of Ekron, but from the last stage of it. Usually when you dig a site, you don't find the beginning, you don't find the middle, you find mostly the end, the destruction layer. In the case of Ekron, in the case of biblical Ashkelon, it's the Babylonian conquest, 604 BCE. Okay, so of the time of the arrival of the Philistines, of the time of King David, if you're digging the city of David, it's pretty hard to find. That's why you debate so much on it, because the evidence is not clear enough. Philistines. Although I have to confess, this was not found in Ekron or near Ekron, but such anthropoid clay-shaped coffins were found at first by an American team digging in Bet Shean, and some were purchased by Moshe Dayan, a famous general whose hobby was to buy antiquities, and in proper excavation by Truda Dotan near Gaza, in Dir el-Bala. Why do we think that this should be linked to the Philistine? Because in some cases the anthropoid coffins had above their heads a certain type of design which seems remarkably similar to the crest design that the Egyptians placed on the heads of the sea people who tried invading Egypt. Okay? Put in mind also the location. Dir el-Balah is near Gaza. Gaza was Philistine. Bet Shean, at least the Bible tells us, was also held by the Philistines. Near Bet Shean, Saul lost to the Philistines, and the Philistines hanged his body on the walls of Bet Shean. So are these burials of Philistines? Perhaps some. It looks like more than anything else these burials reflect Egyptian customs. And it looks like these are Egyptian warriors serving in the Egyptian administration in this land, but maybe among them are also Philistines. The Philistines, I remind you, tried invading Egypt, and it seems like Ramses III at the end made an agreement with them. They perhaps became his mercenaries and also settled with agreement with him over here. This is one way of explaining the whole thing. Okay? We don't have any other clear Philistine burials to suggest an alternative. So this may have been a reflection of at least the burial of some of them.
Many of them been found? Many of them been...
In Bet Shean, quite a few, and also in Dir el-Bala. The Israel Museum actually has mostly the Moshe Dayan collection, which is widow sold. Okay, it's something also problematic in this, but that's another story. When we get to the Israel Museum, we will see quite a few examples. Discovery of the inscription in its foundation. Okay, why did I get so excited once I realized this? Because imagine pillars placed on top of it, supporting a major sanctuary of the Philistines. Does all of this ring a bell?
Samson in Gaza.
It didn't happen here, you're right. But if you want to try and visualize what did the temple in Gaza look like, here is some indirect testimony. Okay? Indeed, these Philistine temples did have pillars. This proves that point. Okay? This is the magic of the field. Without the Bible, these would just be pottery shards and pillar bases. But when you link it to the biblical text, to the narratives, to the scriptures, to the Old Testament, We'll see later also the New Testament. That's the beauty of this. Really, really interesting material.